incentives which are available for the micro, small, medium, large and mega industries in terms of the stamp duty reimbursements or the power subsidy reimbursement or the capital subsidy, or in some certain cases a skill subsidy, training subsidy that we would be having, interest subsidy, things like this which are really going to come up in the future, and I'll be very glad to present to you in a couple of days. And apart from a generic industrial policy, the industrial policy which is coming up will also be encompassing certain specialty sectors like the few I have mentioned. There will be a retail policy, there will be a bulk drug policy, there will be an IT policy, food processing, textile, export promotion, logistics, electronics, tourism. So all there will be all encompassing specialty policies also, which would be coming up under one umbrella industrial policy very soon. Certain strengths that I've already mentioned, but I'll take you through for the interest of retention. The robust infrastructure, that industrial infrastructure that we've had, about 50,000 acres of readily allotable land available with us, with strong logistical infrastructure, which is again reflected through the award that we've recently gotten as the top achiever in logistical ease as per the Leeds Report 22. The industry-ready skilled workforce, it will be discussed in a little bit of a detail in further presentations. The raw material availability, we are the home for 48 rich minerals and the various raw materials which would be a treasure bowl, I would say, and the low cost of business. While we've been mentioning about the ease of doing business, I want to really take to your attention that we are not far behind in the low cost of business, which would be a very formidable combination. The quality of water and power availability and the strategic location, we tout ourselves to be the gateway to the South Asia and Southeast Asia both. And the conducive business environment, which is backed by a stable government, is again, I would say, our better strength, which I want to present to you in this slide. The opportunities are huge, as has been mentioned in the introduction. For the sake of the summit, we have chosen 14 sectors to focus on, which certain sectors will be presented to you today at length. There are other sectors that I will want to briefly mention. In addition to the sectors which will be presented to you, are the electronics sector. The strengths and the opportunities are abundant, and the marquee investments that I've put on the slide talks for itself, how the ground has been prepared for much more investment and opportunity and working together in this sector of electronics. Agro and food processing, we have been traditionally an agro-based state, and we really want to work on that and take it to the next level by adding food processing into our forte. So we've already started to work on that. Again, the marquee investments show to the fact that we're not limiting ourselves to be a producer of agro-based products, but going into the processing as well. The pharmaceuticals, Andhra Pradesh has always been the pharma hub in the country, and in the COVID times, it is for all of us to see how Andhra Pradesh in the pharma sector, which is working with us, has come to the rescue of the entire country in providing the medicines and the medical devices on time, where at times, you know, all of us know better how those times demanded of us to really scale up the production at a very short time, and Andhra Pradesh proudly had come to the rescue of the country, and which is what we want to build further on. The petroleum and petrochemicals is an upcoming sector for us. We already have the KG basin, but we want to really work on certain specialty petrochemicals. Certain work has already been done. There is an opportunity to work together there. The industrial and logistic infrastructure, I have said in my beginning that we want to tout ourselves and turn ourselves into a logistical marvel and make use of our inherent geographical strengths, which is where we are working with multimodal logistic parks, both from the PPP sector and from the government sector. Few of the already existing logistical infrastructure has been presented to you in the slide. Automobiles and EVs. The future of automobiles is electrical vehicles, which is why we want to really work together in the EV has been presented to you in the slide. Automobiles and EVs. The future of automobiles is electrical vehicles, which is why we want to really work together in the EV has been presented to you in the slide. Automobiles and EVs. The future of automobiles is electrical vehicles, which is why we want to really work together in the EV
raw materials would be through the RBKs and the farmers. Moving forward, these 26 food processing units will be set up, one in each district. And this will be developed in two phases. In phase one, we are doing around 10 food processing units, which includes 13 millet processing units. And these food processing units are being constructed as per the raw material availability. For example, we have a lot of tomato raw material availability, like in a place like Nandyal. So there we are establishing this tomato food processing unit, and banana in Kadapa, and so on. So moving forward, as Srijana ma'am has rightly mentioned, that the state of Andhra Pradesh, the industrial and the food processing policy is being envisaged with great incentives, and also the customized incentives are again coming forward for the mega and medium industries. And we all know that Andhra Pradesh stand number one consecutively for the third year in ease of doing business, with approvals on land and developing industries envisaged in its policy. And we have around as many as 12 food parks in Andhra Pradesh, and out of which 5 are the mega food parks. And going forward, these are some of the marquee investments in the sector, such as ITC, Mondelez, Parley, Kellogg's, Tata, etc. And through this, I like to conclude my presentation, and I would welcome you all to visit Andhra Pradesh and your investment prospects in our state. Thank you.
Thank you, Rahul. And if at all you're looking to register yourself, you can always do that on www.advantageap.in. Kindly register yourself for different kind of meetings and collaborations with the government of Andhra Pradesh. And you also have a QR code outside for you to download the e-brochure of the Global Investor Summit. To further understand and retain the information shared by Rahul, we will now all watch a small AV on the food processing sector, which gives us a clarity furthermore on the state and its opportunities in the food processing. Very much. The entire civilization was always around ports. And history has repeatedly proven that trade and commerce activities are immensely active again around ports. It's no wonder that the nations with the busiest ports are among the wealthiest too. Our Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Y.S. Jagan, who strongly believes in port-led industrial and infrastructure development. Hence, to the existing 6 ports that we have, we already have envisioned and commissioned to add 4 more new ports. To further elaborate on the same, let me welcome Lieutenant Commander Shri Ravindranath Reddy, Deputy CEO, AP Maritime Board, to take us through the journey of the ports and what the state has got to offer us. Let's all welcome him with a big round of applause.
Good morning and ellarku vanakkam. Unfortunately, my linguistic talent in Tamil is limited to this. However, my respect and admiration to the entrepreneurial talent and industry of Tamil Nadu is unlimited. We always had respect for Tamil Nadu, and it is not without reason that you rank very high amongst the top GDP of the country, the state GDPs, and you are the most urbanized state, and you are more or less most industrialized state. The humility and perseverance and hard work of Tamilians is definitely and I would say it is a collection of the letter P. He had said, we got the place for you, that is the land available, it is there. We got the people, skilled manpower is available. We got the power, electricity is abundantly available. And we got pani also. We got a lot of water. And then, as many of my speakers before me and after me would tell you, we got a robust policy also. The framework of policy for industrialization is, you can imagine that we are considerably and consistently being ranked as the number one in ease of doing business. That's all due to the policy framework that our Chief Minister and our honorable ministers are framing for and giving direction to the state government to take it. Now, to all this piece, I would also add, we got one more P now. We got more ports also. Right. With all these ports, the policy, the people, the place, the pani, the only one ingredient which is missing, that is paisa. So we are all looking at you to come with your money. Please come to Andhra Pradesh to put your investments. We are there to welcome you, and we will take care of your investments as if they are our own. You may have noticed, now coming back to my core domain, the sea. Sea always gives back whatever you give it. You throw a bottle into it, it throws it back right at you. I would like to take that analogy and tell you, come and invest on the maritime sector in Andhra Pradesh. Get all of your mudra, the money, and put it into our samudra, and it is going to pay you back. I can assure you, with all the infrastructure that we are creating in the ports and fishing harbors, there are a lot of opportunities which you can explore and exploit. And we are there to support you all the way and all along. Now, to show you what is the infrastructure that we are creating, I would like to take you through a little presentation which has just about 3 or 4 slides, where I can enlist all the infrastructure. Please take note who are all the entrepreneurs from the maritime sector, and also industrialists whose industry or whose projects are very cargo intensive. Because we are not looking at ports as just a terminal, as just a facilitation point, as a transit point. Now the paradigm of ports has changed universally, and the port is no more a kind of a collection of berths. It is an industrial complex in itself, and we are willing and trying to create that paradigm in Andhra Pradesh. So we are having a lot of land attached to each of these ports, ranging between 5,000 to 10,000 acres, readily available. And any industry which is cargo intensive, that is, which uses a lot of logistics, please look at the ports to establish your project nearby. There are facilities, the policy is very conducive, the industrial policy per se, as well as the port policy. It is very helpful. So I will take you through the presentation where we showcase our existing ports as well as the upcoming ports and their characteristics. And you can note down so that if you are interested in any of these things, you may plan your investments there. As you can see, Andhra Pradesh has always been consistently ranked on top for the throughput which our ports are already doing. We have one major port in Visakhapatnam, as you all know. Secondly, we have 3 state ports which are technically called minor ports. They are not minor. They are deep draft ports. And one operating at the southern part of Andhra Pradesh, very near to Chennai, that is Krishnapatnam. Second is at Kakinada, deep water port. And the third is Gangavaram, which is right next to Visakhapatnam. These are the existing ports, and they're doing very well. Now, we are creating 4 more ports, 3 in the public sector, that's the government sector, and 1 in the private sector. These are the new ports which are coming. The first one is Ramayapatnam, which is slightly ahead of Krishnapatnam, north of Krishnapatnam. And next is Machilipatnam, which is quite near to Vijayawada. Then we have Bhavanapadu, which is in the northernmost part of district of Andhra Pradesh, that is Srikakulam. Each of these ports has strategic advantages, geostrategic advantages. And with the changing geopolitical scenario in the world, and we are looking at a lot of liquid cargo going to flow from the eastern part of one of the biggest countries, exporters of liquid cargo and POL, which will give the east coast of India an advantage. Definitely, you're also on the east coast, so you might be thinking, why should we come to Andhra Pradesh? Now let me tell you, Andhra Pradesh is much nearer than Tamil Nadu to the center of India. So you will be covering a lot of distance on land instead of land by sea, and therefore it can add some advantage for anybody who's thinking of doing business with the main hinterland of India. So we would like to have a look at you to have a look at this, where the Bhavanapadu port and the Kakinada and etc., they're very near to the central and northern hinterland of India. Look at it at that angle. Then there is one SEZ port which is coming up in Kakinada, in addition to the existing port, which is a private entity who is developing this, but he is also developing a deep water port. Now let me add one more thing here. As you can see in that table, the depth available is something which I would like you to make note of. Anybody in the maritime field will understand the basic problem that Indian ports are facing is about depth available. The average depth is about 13 meters in the national average. Whereas, as you can see, the average depth of ports in Andhra Pradesh is nearing 16 to 17. Now, this is a paradigm which is going to help the new paradigm of large vessels, larger and larger vessels which are taking to the seas, and therefore decreasing the cost of logistics. So tomorrow, any industrialist who's having his eye on cutting down costs on logistics, he will have to be nearer a port which has got larger depth and therefore can invite deep draft vessels. We are there with all the draft available and depth available right in front of you. Please make note of it. And like I said, each of them has certain parcel of lands attached to it as a core port area as well as port proximal area. So we are looking at port-led industrialization, as speakers before me have told you, that port-led industrialization is a core thrust area for our government. As you can see, the way we had invested in the infrastructure, no other state in this country is even building a port right now. We are building 3 of them. That's a bold decision our dynamic chief minister has taken, and we intend to follow through, all of us here. Right. Now I've given you the infrastructure we are creating about the ports, and I'd just like to take you through, most of you know already what a port ensues, and I'll just tell you what all the industries that can benefit from this. As you can see, a lot of industries which are core shipping industries like shipbuilding, ship repair, etc., ship logistics. We are looking at a lot of logistics parks, multimodal logistic parks to support our ports. So there is a scope for large logistic companies to set up shop in Andhra Pradesh. Then we have green energy, of course. As we are talking about in other sectors also, we are looking for developing a lot of green energy on the marine sector too. Marine sector has a specific advantage in the green energy production area. As you may know, offshore wind energy is one of them, tidal energy is one of them, and what have you. Any of these ideas, green hydrogen is definitely there. We are looking at it along with our energy department. operated from there. Now we are building 9 fishing harbors, and make a note of it, all of them with proper breakwaters and dredging and dredge channel to accommodate deeper draft fishing vessels, and in times to come, maybe we can accommodate coastal shipping, coastal runners also in these fishing harbors. So 9 of them are being developed, and this is going to enhance our sea catching, the catch from the sea. We are already number 1 in aquaculture. We would like to increase our sea catch also, and thereby increasing the total available aqua produce, raw produce, as the maximum in the country. Along with that, now let me also tell you one more opportunity here for entrepreneurs who are in the aqua field. Every fishing harbor is going to be having a space around 50 acres to 60 acres attached to it, and we call it an integrated food park. So this is going to leverage the sea catch as well as the local aquaculture produce, and we are giving it for a development of private entrepreneurs. And we had, you can contact us, anybody in the aqua field, for interest. If you have interest in this field, please do contact us. We will help you with the details. And again, the same thing about the opportunities in these fishing economic zones. I will not dwell on it. And these are the contact numbers which you can contact for any of these requirements. And therefore, we will help you with any support that you require till you can ground your investment as well as take it forward and help you with all through your cycle there. And one thing I would like, lastly, I would like to add about our shared maritime histories and traditions, what Dr. Srijana has told you. I will not touch upon it, and the cultural similarities, language, etc. What I would like to tell you is, when we separated from Tamil Nadu, the erstwhile Madras state, that was Andhra Pradesh 1.0. When we separated, and we were there with the Telangana, and together we were Andhra Pradesh 2.0. And today, as we bifurcated, we are Andhra Pradesh 3.0. And ladies and gentlemen, I would like to tell you, we are raring to go. So please do come to Andhra Pradesh. This is a different Andhra Pradesh. Approach us. We are there to look after your interests. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir. No wonder the state has bagged the Outstanding Contributor Award in Port-led Infrastructure Projects ET22. To further witness the developmental activities that are happening at a lightning speed and overall port-led economic development, let's all watch an AV on the ports. with two good examples right in front of us, be it Mr. Sundar Pichai from Madurai or Mr. Satya Nadella from Andhra Pradesh. Both the states very competitively produce some of the finest engineers and contributed to the corporate leaders to the world. Let me also tell you that 25% of IT workforce and Indians in the US are from Telugu speaking community. Apart from such talented workforce, the state also has a well-integrated electronics manufacturing clusters with complete value chain rightly integrated. With 3.5 million phones produced every month, that translates to one mobile phone per second, contributing to 10% of national electronics production and 5% to the nation's electronics exports, the state of Andhra Pradesh is the best investment hub for IT and electronics. Electronics and IT sector continues to transform lives, businesses, and economies across the globe and continues to be the focus sector of the government too. To know more about the state's approach through these electronic manufacturing clusters and its ambition to be the state of destination and hub for IT and electronics, let's hear it from the man himself, Shri Saurabh Gaur, IAS, Secretary, IT, Electronics and Communication, Skill Development and Training Department, for his insights on the opportunities in the state of Andhra Pradesh in the electronics and IT sector. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, Rajiv. Honorable Minister, my colleagues from the government and industry champions, it is a matter of proud privilege for me to be presenting the most valuable sector, that is electronics and IT sector, and the opportunities that you will find in engaging with the sector in the state of Andhra Pradesh. So while my colleague Rajiv has given a great introduction, and the earlier speaker, Ravindranath Garu, he spoke about paisa and money and 5 Ps. I believe he meant value. And value is what, apart from the money and the investment that has to come, I believe we would want to invite you to the most valuable sector today. Look at the companies around you, and you'll find that the biggest companies today are the companies that are in tech. And that is where I think Andhra Pradesh also has a great play. If the country has to become a $5 trillion economy, if the country's digital economy has to become $1 trillion, we in Andhra Pradesh strongly believe that 10% of that digital economy will be from the state of Andhra Pradesh. And we have very good reason and the Visakhapatnam, where we have the Millennium Park, we have the 7 hills that are dedicated for IT space. We have lot of data center activity also happening there. The fact that I believe this is something of the likes that you see in other places, other parts of the country. We'll have a very strong, vibrant IT park coming at Bhogapuram. Next to that, we have in Tirupati, also not very far from the airport that is there. There is a IT park that is already coming up in Pallam. It is around 25 kilometers from Tirupati airport. And it is here again, we already have a lot of investor interest coming up. The fact remains that today in Visakhapatnam, we are short of IT, ready to occupy IT infrastructure. So we have lots of inquiries coming up. And that is where we are collaborating usually with the private sector also, with the developers also, and saying that, look, these kind of investor inquiries are there, and how quickly can we turn it up? And how quickly can we make more and more infrastructure available? And with a 4-5 year horizon, we are preparing all these IT parks, all very strategically located, where I believe there is a lot of opportunity that is coming up. So Pallam in Tirupati is the next one. We actually have videos in all of that, and we are in the process of setting up digital twins also, so that you can have an immersive experience in terms of how these parks are going to be like, the rendered images, and also the existing development that is happening, so that one can, sitting wherever one is, understand how the park development is happening. There is another park within the Tirupati Tuda township, where actually mixed-use development is happening, so residential facilities are coming up, and we have earmarked 25 acres of land for a mini IT park with a structure that is going to come out, a marquee structure that will come out there. Then, on the Andhra Pradesh-Karnataka border, not very far from from Bengaluru airport also, an hour-and-a-half drive, in Teklodu, we have an IT park which has been proposed, for which land also has been acquired. So it is looking at IT and niche IT products. For example, if a lot of semiconductor design companies that are there, they would want to come and set up space there. Similarly, in the drone and robotic process, the human-computer interface ecosystem also, we look at this as our park to propagate this kind of ecosystem. There's another IT park not very far from Teklodu. It is in Kapalbanda, where again we are proposing IT development activities. And we are happy to engage with you, understand your specific needs, while we provide the general infrastructure in terms of power connectivity, in terms of water availability, excellent connectivity. These are all adjacent to national highways, so that connectivity is not an issue. But also other needs, the hygiene requirements that are there for an IT park to flourish. We would be happy to bring all of that together for you. And we have videos on all of them. While there will be a sector video at the end of this, but we have videos on all of them available, and during the lunch time and otherwise we'll be playing those videos also, so you get a hang of what is it that we are talking about. Now the electronic sector, my friend talked about Andhra Pradesh producing 1 mobile phone every second. To me, it's not much actually. We are looking at, today in the country, there are almost, to my understanding, we make around 220 million to 230 million mobile phones every year. By 2027, we will be making 1 billion mobile phones every year in the country. In Andhra Pradesh alone, we want to be making 250 mobile phones every year. So mobile phone is a huge growth segment for us, and we have the ecosystem to back it up. In electronics manufacturing clusters, of the 20 electronic manufacturing clusters that were sanctioned by Government of India, 4 were sanctioned to Andhra Pradesh. So we have 4 very good electronic manufacturing clusters, established clusters that have come up, where 50-50 partnership between center and state is there. And that is something that rivals, if not betters, I not say betters, the ecosystem that you have in Shri Paramdur, or the ecosystem that's there in Hosur, or so on and so forth. So electronic sector in Andhra Pradesh, this is a glimpse of that. So, but I'll go to each of the clusters. But before that, let me talk about the fiscal incentives. In electronics, we have clear-cut capital incentives that are available. So ranging from 20% capex incentives with certain limitations also. but strong capital incentives and very well neatly laid out capital incentives also, so it doesn't take any time in processing them. Apart from that, land is available, developed by Andhra Pradesh Industrial Infrastructure Corporation. Land subsidies in terms of stamp duties waiver are available. And apart from that, power is available at a very discounted rate. So we have two zones. Zone A is Tirupati and the associated ecosystem. Zone B is the newest electronic manufacturing cluster. In Zone B in Tirupati, in Kadapa, Koparthi, that is where, if you had followed, not very far from there, we had the steel plant inauguration also. Then we will soon have the biggest CCTV manufacturing factory in the entire country also. Almost 5 million CCTVs per year being manufactured there. That is coming up there. So here we provide power at 4.5 rupees per unit. We also provide here capital subsidies which are slightly of a higher magnitude. The land is also available here only at presently at 12 lakh rupees per acre. The ready-built factory sheds are available here at ranging from 10 rupees to 15 rupees per SFT per month. So it is a really attractive package that is made available here. On top of that, there is production-linked incentive scheme also, which is made available in the YSR EMC in Kadapa, Koparthi. And this is also 5 kilometers from the Kadapa airport, which is a greenfield airport under Udan, but which is only going to go bigger and better because we have the electronics cluster, we have the pharma cluster, textile cluster, steel factories, and lots of other associated developments coming up there. So this is the PLI that is offered at YSR EMC, the electronic manufacturing cluster, where at 100% of the fixed capital investment spread over 10 years, we start giving you production and incentives ranging from 5% every year on the production value going up to 1%. So whichever companies are getting Government of India PLI, they are automatically eligible here. Companies that are not getting Government of India PLI scheme also, whether you are engaged in air conditioners or CCTVs or smart meters or components or any other electronic and telecom device, and we have a fairly liberal definition of that. We are happy to bring you to Andhra Pradesh, to Koparthi, and offer you production and incentive scheme also. So these are the clusters. This is EMC Tirupati 1. This is where we have Dixon, we have Munhoth, which has set up the first battery manufacturing plant in the country. And it's not battery assembly, it is from cell upwards that even cell manufacturing also is happening there. So almost 2 gigawatt energy battery manufacturing unit has been set up there in Tirupati. And then we have now Neolink also manufacturing the mobile and the customer premises equipment devices for Reliance and also for a couple of other players also. We have HKC, Resolute, and so on and so forth. And we look at some of the other players also coming here. This is the EMC Tirupati 2, which is where we have the Chinese majors like Wingtech, TCL, TT. The biggest display plant in the country is in Tirupati. For the television screens display, the mobile display, and soon we will have further value addition, pure cell manufacturing also happening here. So we have Wingtech, TCL, and we are looking at Napino and VVD, and these are the other investor interests we are looking at. Dixon has a very big go here, and then the camera module company, not to forget, Sunny Opotech, which manufactures camera modules for almost all mobile manufacturing companies. So as you see, the value system is going deeper into that. From the mobile phone assembly and the television assembly, now we have the mechanics, we have the optical modules, we have the printed circuit board assembly, we have the display, and so on and so forth. Soon we'll have capacitors, resistors, active and passive devices also coming to Andhra Pradesh. And we already have a few actually. Then this is the Kadapa cluster that I talked about, where the biggest CCTV manufacturing company is already, it should be inaugurated soon, which is again AIL Dixon. And then we have companies coming up in IoT space here, also in optical fibers and in smart TVs and television manufacturing. So I think this is our cluster for consumer electronics and so on and so forth. And then the Sri City EMC, I'll not talk about it. The champion himself is here, Mr. Ravi Sana Reddy, who has set up a fabulous ecosystem, and electronics manufacturing cluster is only a part of it. But here again, we have lots of air conditioning. So 9 out of 16 air conditioner manufacturing companies that got production and incentive from Government of India 9 of them have come to Sri City. So that speaks a lot about the fact that Sri City will become 50 to 60% of air conditioners make in India, make for the world will be happening here. And this now, even the industrial air conditioners also are coming there. Then there is a great opportunity coming up in Kosalanagaram, which is 40 kilometers from Chennai, where we are sitting today, or from the airport, right on the border in Tirupati district or Chittoor district, from what I understand. Where again, beautiful, it is, one has to see it to believe it, located in very beautiful climes with a lake, a hill, and connectivity to the national highway. I think that's another place that has a huge future ahead. We have APITA, Andhra Pradesh Electronics and IT Agency, as our nodal agency. APITA has set up a stall outside. We have the draft MOUs also available with us, and also the fact that if you have to do a registration on the portal, I'll be available outside after the meeting, and we'll be happy to take investor queries there. So thank you so much for your time today, and I look forward to your participation in the electronics and IT system. And not to forget the drones and emerging technologies sector also, where I believe we'll be having further discussions later on. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for such energetic and passionate presentation on IT and electronics. The state, apart from being #1 in horticulture, it is also among the largest producer of cotton, second largest producer of raw silk, and stands fourth in jute production in India. The state is right now focusing on further enhancing the ginning, spinning, and processing units. With raw materials easily accessible and processing units being the focus of the government, the state is going to be the best ideal location for investments in textiles and apparels. To further understand the opportunities and the ecosystem in detail, join me in welcoming Srimati K. Sunita IAS Garu, Principal Secretary, Handlooms and Textiles, for her presentation on this particular sector. Welcome, ma'am.
Respected Minister for Finance, Planning, Commercial Taxes, Legislative Affairs, Skill Development and Training, Shri Buggana Rajendranath Garu. Secretary IT, Saurabh Gaur. Srijna Gumala, Director Industries. Past Chairman CI, Mr. Ethan Hover. Sannareddy, MP Sri City. Vanka Ravindranath Garu, Chairman MSME Development Corporation, and all the distinguished guests today. Good morning. The textile sector is something which sounds non-serious, but one should understand how important it is, because I think it's one thing which we can't afford to neglect. No matter we have our food or anything else, clothes are a necessity. And that's what defines a person, whether it's a South Indian, North Indian, American. The way one dresses always reflects the traditions or the culture of the person and the mood of the person, or what the person is trying to project himself to be. A serious executive or a teenager with his own casual style, or a pretty model. The person defines himself through his clothes, and that's why textiles is very important. And textiles is important both for Tamil Nadu and Andhra, because I think we not only have the textiles in terms of today's modern factories and other things, but we always had our privileged handlooms, whether it's a Kanjivaram of Tamil Nadu or the Uppada or Venkatgiri or Dharmavaram of AP. In North India, they're very famous and they're really appreciated well. Textiles approximately cover about 2% of India's GDP. We are 18.2% of the manufacturing sector, and the share in exports is around 11.4%. India holds 4% of the global trade in textiles, and textiles is the second largest employer after agriculture, providing direct employment to about 45 million people and 100 million people in the allied industries. The Indian exports to textiles are expected to reach $100 billion in the next 5 years, growing at a CAGR of 11%. Unlike other industries where normally around 12 jobs is generated per industry, the textile sector generates around 30 jobs. And in the garmenting section alone, they generate around 70 jobs or more than that. And another important part of this textile sector, as all of you all know, is that this is the area where most of the women, more than 70% are women. This is a sector which really cherishes women, and it is very important for us. In the textile ecosystem in Andhra, we have ready-made and technical textiles in Visakhapatnam, Anakapalli, weaving, processing and made-ups in Prakasham and Bapatla, ready-made garments in Anantapur, Kadapa, Kurnool, weaving, processing and ready-made garments in Chittoor and Nellore. We have around 10 textile parks. 6 of them are owned by the government and 4 of them are owned by the private sector. This map generally shows you the kind of distance which is there from Chennai to each of these parks. Just to highlight that after we bifurcated from Chennai, we still are very close to you in terms of distance, the borders and the textile parks. Venkatagiri, Sri City is just 75 kilometers. I'm sure many of you all would have been there. Venkatagiri Textile Park 146, Tarakeshwar Textile Park 82 kilometers, Maas is 146 and Chirala Handloom is 360 kilometers and so on and so forth. So we have a lot of textile park areas available, and India is the 6th largest producer AP is the 6th largest producer of cotton. We produce around 17.08 lakh bales of cotton, and this is produced mostly in 10 districts. We are the 7th largest producer in jute, and we produce around 10.4 thousand bales with the 13 jute mills in the state, mostly in Vijayanagaram and Srikakulam. We are the 2nd largest producer of silk. Dharmavaram and Venkatagiri are the main areas that's towards, that's been producing silk. Advantage, but in terms of the business, I think it is an advantage to look for cost of the production, and then this becomes a part of that calculation. The marquee investors in the sector are, for technical textiles, we have Torre, we have TJ for weft-knit products, Unicharm and Precot for medical textiles, Aditya Birla Loyal Textiles for integrated textiles, and Brandick Shahi Texport, Volta for apparel. And for yarn, Andhra was very famous for yarn earlier. Kallam, Idulpadu, Vasanta, Jyotirmayi, Amravati, Indu Textiles, Swarnalata, Super Spinning Mills are all present. These are the marquee investors in our state. And just to give you a glimpse of what we have in the handlooms heritage, most of you all would remember that when the East India Company came down to India, they had also set up a lot of units near Machilipatnam, where we used to make this sari which could be fit into a small matchbox. And today also, though all the travails of modern industry, colonization, and the youth moving away from the traditional attire is still there, but still we have retained about 35 varieties of handloom products. Many of you all would be hearing about these things, like we have the Dharmavaram, Venkatagiri, Uppada, Mangalagiri, then the Srikakulam Khadi, and so on and so forth. We have around 1,77,447 weavers, which is around 5% of the Indian weavers working on these handlooms. There are 482 primary cooperative societies. And we have 6 handlooms which are GI tagged. They are again Mangalagiri, Uppada, Jamdani, Dharmavaram silk saris and Pavadas, Sri Kalahasti Kalamkari, Venkatagiri saris, Pedan Kalamkari. And the opportunities and strengths of our textile sector, I think, when I speak to my Tamil brothers here, I would like to say that our posts are very near to, our textile parks are very near. We are separated by a border, and based on the past experiences of sharing our state, culture, the dance forms, the music forms, the actors, actresses, sometimes even the politicians, we all have always been working together. And today, we have a lot of Telugu diaspora in Tamil Nadu here who have done a lot to the state. I'm sure after having developed Tamil Nadu so much, they would also like to look at their own state and do something for the investments there. And if you compare the distances of the textile parks from Chennai to the textile parks in Tamil Nadu, you have I'm sorry, Anna Handloom Silk Park in Kanchipuram. I wouldn't know how to. Our scope for future investments is the green integrated parks. Then we have mega clustered development. We had parks like Brandex, Sri City and other places which are there, and we would like to invite more investments in this sector. We also have a scope for export-oriented units. The textile exports for India stood at $33 billion, of which AP's share is only $417 million. So the government intends to expand its export market in textile and encourage those units which are export-oriented. We also have a scope for a niche product segment. We could look at organic product of from cotton to the cloth. And there is a lot of, 1/3 of the agriculture area in Andhra is organic. We do natural farming there. So there is scope for that. I know there are a lot of Western countries in Europe and other places which actually look forward for organic garments, and there is scope for this. Already some textile parks like Mohan Spintex and others have been doing it, and there is more, there's room for more. We also could have a kind of variety where we mix the organic cotton and the handloom cotton like Mangalgiri loom fabrics, Pulagutta fabrics, Isukupalli for home furnishing, Kalamkari handlooms, and evolve them into kind of a kind of fusion garment where you have probably a kalamkari with our lace, and also produce it in such a way that it actually is very good for the export market. We also have Dupion silk for home furnishing, which is very good and generally appreciated. It has adorned the halls of the White House and the French President's House because of the sheer quality and the richness of the fabric. We also have a segment, sunrise segment of technical textiles. You all know about the Medtech zone in Andhra. We also have the about 15 technical textiles in Andhra Pradesh. Global players like Torre and Grasim and other places. There are 3 industrial corridors, and there's port-led industrialization. And for all these sectors, we could have a tailor-made incentives extended to anybody who's interested in them. We also have a snapshot of Brandex here. This is a 1,000-acre textile park, and there's still 400 acres available. There's connectivity to Gangavaram port. There is water capacity installed of 20 million liters per day. And we have an ETP there with an installed capacity of 22 million liters per day and power with 200 megawatt capacity connected to the national grid. This is done with the Sri Lankan collaboration. It's a very beautiful park, very green, very well laid out. And for those who are interested in textile sector, I would say this is a must-see stop. And the next one is Mass Fabric Park Chillakur. This is in Nellore, and this is the total area is 740 acres, of which we have SEZ area of 581 acres and DTA area of 159 acres. There's a water supply of 35 MLD, and there is a direct access road to Krishnapatnam port, with just 18 kilometers far from there. And there's a CETP of 28.5 MLD discharge. The testimony for speedy execution is Torre for us. This is a 1,000 crore investment in Sri City. The site area is 110 acres, and they provide around 530 employment people, both direct and indirect employment. And they've started their submission of draft DPR on 2017 and went into commercial production in February 2020 through various landmarks which have been projected there. And with this testimony, I would like to again request our Tamilian friends here and the Telugu diaspora who's here to relook at the textile sector in Andhra. We have been very proud of our lineage of handlooms, either whether in Tamil Nadu or Andhra. Textiles also have done very well in Tamil Nadu, Tirupur and other places. I'm sure they would want to do further investments, and probably they can look at over the border to Andhra for their subsequent investments, because places like Sri City or the other places in Andhra are you can travel faster to the Chennai port or to Chennai rather than starting from your own textile units, which are quite far away. And the Tamilians have a very enterprising spirit. And I remember when we were small, anywhere we went abroad, we would either see a Gujarati or a Tamilian. So I'm sure you would want to keep up that enterprising nature and move on and help your sibling state, Andhra. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. That was indeed a very warm call to the investors and entrepreneurs here. Now, can we have the AV on the textiles, which gives us a complete overview of the sector to the investors here?
Andhra Pradesh, building a supportive textile empire for the country. People are not just attracted to Andhra Pradesh's rich cultural heritage. The state also holds great significance in households across the country because of its exquisite kalamkari work, lavish hand-woven dharmavaram saris and fine Mangalagiri cotton weaves. This makes Andhra Pradesh occupy a prime place in India's cultural ensemble, as the state is supported by the distinctive traditional weavers of nearly every village in the district. With the integration of 10 textile parks, which includes one handloom park, and Andhra Pradesh's quality of producing some of the country's finest textile raw materials, the state is in a unique position to support the textile industry of the country.
When industry representatives are speaking high about the state, that is the most important part. And for the past 3 years, this has been happening. God's grace, touch wood, we've been doing well. So come over to Andhra Pradesh, have a feel of the state, and I assure you that you would enjoy the way forward.
The robust weaving environment with 35,176 power looms and 10,244 shuttle-less looms attracts industrialists to the state as a fast-growing manufacturing hub in the country. This ecosystem is supported by training program centers in Vizag Apparel Park to provide a supply of manpower to garment units. Andhra Pradesh rules as India's top cotton producer, the second largest producer of raw silk, and the fourth largest producer of jute in the country. This resource availability, combined with a well-developed ecosystem, makes Andhra Pradesh appealing to the textile industry and provides enormous opportunities for entrepreneurs investing in value-added segments throughout the textile value chain. In the future, the industries would be encouraged to set up their units subject to compliance, that is garmenting units, etc., in the vicinity of Jagananna housing colonies. This aims to promote the concept of walk to work with readily available manpower and encourage women to participate in the labor force to bridge the gap. The state is home to various mega and large textile units producing home textiles, yarn, technical textiles, medical textiles, garmenting and apparel, which creates a value chain, making AP a suitable ecosystem for textiles. A mega textile park in an area of 1,000 plus acres is proposed. which further gives investors a lucrative opportunity to build a textile empire.
Well, we have an inspiring personality among us, coming from a rural background, building an enterprise which is now home to 190 plus companies, representing more than 28 countries. And he has set not just the state of Andhra Pradesh, but the entire country on the global arena. Let me welcome Shri Ravi Zannareddy Garu, the founder and managing director, Shri City, to share his views on the investor-friendly environment in the state of Andhra Pradesh. Let's all welcome him with a big round of applause.
Thank you, Raju, for that kind introduction. Indeed, it is a pleasure to be in my hometown to promote Andhra Pradesh state, where that is my Janmabhumi, Karmabhumi laga, Puttinillu, Mettinillu laga. So I don't know how many of you know that Sri City is a Mylapore registered company just across the street from here. I live in Adayar. So as a resident, I have the best of the both worlds. So I'm thankful to the organizers to give me this opportunity to be in front of you. It was a surprise to me when I came here. They called my name. I have to come onto the stage. But it also gives me an opportunity to speak from the heart, not from the prepared speech. First, I think people talked about the state's togetherness and all those things, but I have a lot of common things here to share. So first, Honorable Minister Garu, who is on the stage, Buggana Garu, who is a well-wisher of the industry from the beginning. So that is why, sir, I tell you, in the context of this, if we say Brahma, Vishnu, you are like Vishnu for industry. Well, we are missing the industry minister, who may be equivalent to Brahma, but is represented by all his forces here, all the thing. It is important, it may be a coincidence that he is the chief guest here, because not only his finance ministry is also for the skill development. Why I say is Vishnu is, these two are the main ingredients for industry to survive. Somebody talked about paisa, so he managed the paisa, but people talked about manpower, so he has both of them. And also he is the person, I can say, who's like, I don't know how many of you know, he had some educational background in Chennai. So many of us on this stage, I was looking around and say, what do we have in common? Very common things between Chennai, Tamil Nadu, Andhra, this culturally and linguistically. And so I thought I will take the role of trying to see how, what is the best for industry in this context. So several of the people already talked about our chairman Swaminathan Garu also. We both have something in common. We live in Chennai and we have industries or whatever. He has industry, I have the Sri City there. So we have the, I think I will try to explain the journey, my journey. I thought that is the best thing to explain why it is relevant for this meeting. About 15 years back, I was also like you, attending one such conference by AP government. I was in IT in those days. So they were here to promote, in those days it used to be called partnership summits. CII used to organize. So I have several friends here from CII, Andhra Chamber of Commerce, from our fellow, whatever my colleagues from Sri City, that is industry leaders from Sri City and industry friends. So my journey started 15 years back, like sitting in the other side of the dais and listening to such invitations or why you should consider Andhra Pradesh as a destination for your business, these things. But I had some other incentive to be where I am today because I am also son of the soil. I am from that region. I grew up there. And I studied, whatever, I did my engineering in NIT Tirchi, which is in Tamil Nadu, heart of Tamil Nadu. And when I moved back, I went to US. When I moved back, I chose Chennai as my destination, not Hyderabad or Bangalore, though I was in IT. So I think retrospectively I've done the right thing. One, I was closer to the home, but When I moved back, I didn't know that one day we have the opportunity. I moved here in 2000. Sri City was initiated during Dr. YSR regime. He was the Chief Minister, then Honorable Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Dr. YS Rashekar Reddy garu, whom you all know. And in fact, he visited Chennai several times during his tenure as the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh to promote industry. He was also there in 2009 in the Global Investors Meet in 2009 January. That is to the best of my knowledge, that is his last visit to Chennai as Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh in 2009. And he was supposed to come on August 31st for similar event, Partnership Summit, to attract investment on 30th or 29th of August. And this unfortunate accident happened on September 2nd. So these dates are still fresh in my mind because he was supposed to be in Sri City on September 9th to inaugurate Sri City, that is 9. We did groundbreak on 8/8/2008. We wanted to inaugurate it on 9/9/2009 with 9 industries that were becoming operational by then. One of them you might be seeing now, I mean, you heard about it a lot, VRV, which makes one of the 2 industries that makes oxygen cylinders in India. During COVID time, that was giving life to many people, and lately BFG, which is doing a lot of parts for Vande Bharat trains. These 2 were in news. These 2 industries were promoted by, rather in those days, allotment and groundbreaking by our late Chief Minister Garu Y.S. Rashekar Reddy. Why I'm going back to that past is to show the relevance to the meeting. Today, his son, Dr. Mr. Jagan Reddy Garu is the Chief Minister, and I have seen 5 Chief Ministers from then to today. So one of the things industry, those of us who are here in this hall, would look for stability in the policy support, and I think I can say proudly, since I have done this is with my whatever experience in last 15 years of our journey, the governments may change, officers may change, but one thing that is constant is the full support, the undisputed support to the industry from all the segments, that is political, local politicians, state level politicians, and more importantly, officers. So that is one thing I can proudly talk about in front of you as a resident of Chennai. So this not because I don't even want to talk about Sri City because there was enough said about Sri City, where it is, what it is, and I also want to remind to the audience that since they talked about how we were together, then divided linguistically or politically, but I'm telling time has come to unite it back as an industry people. That's what I'm telling people on the stage, people, some of you, we are here together. So there are no, after GST and all have come, I personally feel there are no state boundaries. It is not where you do business. Yes, state government is important. There is some relevance for approvals and other things. But once GST has come, we are all in India. We are all Indian citizens. So the artificial boundaries of state, all these checkpoints are removed, in 2014-15 time frame. So it is Tamil Nadu or Andhra it's okay. It is important for certain things. But however, for those of us in Chennai, I tell when people ask where is Sri City, I say we are in Greater Chennai. Now, I don't say which state we are in, because it doesn't matter technically speaking. Because when we have all these single window clearance systems and everything online, technically you don't have to go to see the government offices that often. So it is a positive thing that happened in this country. That is how our ease of doing business as a country has improved, and also as a state we are proud that Andhra Pradesh is #1 for 3 years. And also I want to tell you here, getting the first rank as when we are students or anything first, or we say who's the world's richest man and all. But maintaining that is very, very difficult. We have seen several times. I'm happy and proud that Andhra Pradesh has been doing it for the last 3 years. My request to all the people on the dais is to help the industry such a way that we can get it fourth year also. Not to be with 3 years, 4th year also, we should get it. And I'm sure that the way these people are here, I think they are doing like a political campaign, I would say almost. They were there, I think, day before yesterday in Bangalore. Here, I think I was told they are going to Bombay. So the zeal that they are working, I'm sure that we'll get the 4th time also that distinction. And I think I can say one more point is, for practical reasons, I can say, though we are in Andhra Pradesh, you may be surprised. I don't know, many of you may not know where Sri City is located, or Kosal Nagaram, which you have seen on the slides and other places, actually originally belonged to Tamil Nadu. So these are called what we call Pataskar committee, this thing. When I can take maybe 1 minute to explain, please don't count my time, this is for the education purpose of the audience here. When Tirupati and Tirutani were given to Andhra Pradesh on linguistic basis, the Rajaji Garu objected for it, saying two popular temples going. Tirupati area was purely Telugu speaking. So Tirutani was given to Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu give back 65 Tamil speaking villages. So out of those 65, all these Kosal Nagaram villages where we are, Sri City, they are all located. So those of you who want to be in Tamil land, where Tamil speaking, they're all bilingual. They're all very, very, this thing, that's why we say, it's as if a lot of people also ask when they come to Sri City, or even Tamil Nadu or Andhra Pradesh. So linguistically, because everybody speaks Tamil, so the bilingual team, you may still get your Tamil Nadu Aircel/Airtel signals only there. So we are fortunate that we have several areas where it is geographical in Andhra Pradesh, but it is Tamil culture, Tamil speaking, and also you are best of the both. That's why our then Chief Minister Rajshekar Reddy Garu very proudly used to tell, we have 3 international airports. When we had only one in those days, Andhra Pradesh, that is Hyderabad. Some reporter asked, how come 3? He said Bangalore and Chennai. They are also practically in Andhra Pradesh, because all these areas within driving distance from the airports, international airports. That's what industry wants. Good airports, good ports. We had enough, good stability, good network of roads with all these Chennai, Bangalore corridor. Where is Chennai, Bangalore industrial corridor entering? Not in Chennai. It is actually ending in Krishnapatnam, which is 80 to 100 kilometers into Andhra Pradesh. So that is, though it is Chennai, Bangalore corridor, it is ending there. That is how synergic it is. So I always tell that we are in Chennai. There are 5 ports advantage to certain locations in Andhra Pradesh. Manpower, I talked about our Honorable Minister Garu is here. He may talk more about how he has great vision. I have seen one of the passion which he talks about skill development. He was in Sri City recently just to understand what are the needs of skills in these kind of segments, and what the industrial needs, and how to make. The Andhra Pradesh is also proactively thinking about how to make people ready, not just giving you the infrastructure. Power they talked about, but I also tell you, Andhra Pradesh power is the cheapest power. And since Andhra Pradesh was predominantly agrarian state, we have a lot of industrial workers that will be easily scalable and trainable and placed into the work. They're in need of work. Hence, your wage levels will be low. And this is one of the best places to come and invest, not because I'm there as a Sri City, but I'm sharing my experience. And so welcome to all of you to come and invest into Andhra Pradesh. And if you have any questions, post this session, I will be happy to answer. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. In fact, thanks for sharing a bit of history and geography and politics in your short speech. Very informative. Andhra Pradesh is one of the few states that heavily focuses and supports MSMEs, startups, and innovation. In fact, through the Restart package, the state sanctioned and paid all the outstanding incentives to MSMEs to ease their financial situation. The state also focuses on emerging technologies, startup, and innovation culture. To further help us understand different growth opportunities in this segment, let me welcome Shri Vanka Ravindranath Garu, who is the chairman of AP MSME Development Corporation, for his special address. Let me also tell you that he is another inspiration who is feeding 9,000 plus families at this point of time and is continuing to invest into the state of Andhra Pradesh. With this, let us all welcome him with a big round of applause. Venkana Garu, to you.
Namaste. For the today function, Mr. S. Swaminathan, and today our chief guest, the Minister, the Buggana Rajendranath Garu, and our state young and dynamic IAS officers, and my colleague, the chairmen, and other entrepreneurs. Today I'm very happy to came here to see all of you. But I'm a little bit nervous. Before me, everybody talking big projects, ports, textiles, and engineering and everything. But the small scales, came from MSME sector. But MSME sector, Tamil Nadu is very best. In your government, you are proven all facilities, all infrastructure. You are enjoying a lot of benefits from the central government, everything. So now, after this government, our Chief Minister, Sri Jagan Reddy Garu, very much focused on the MSMEs. Why MSMEs? He always very much stressing MSME is the backbone of the big corporate. You know, everywhere, because I am wearing the coat. The button coming from the MSME, the sewing thread coming from the MSME, a collar that is coming from MSME, the cloth is coming from MSME. So like this, all together they join one corporate company, they make a big coat, Raymond's and Exam and H&M, they are doing. So this, once we create a lot of MSMEs, automatically corporate will come, generation will come. Yeah, that is my Chief Minister idea. Now, in India, Andhra Pradesh having very good number of MSMEs. Now, in our government, when our government coming 3.5 years, 5,61,235 employment generation happened in MSMEs. And also, in the state, 40% exports under MSMEs. So, yeah, this is the good achievement in our Andhra Pradesh. And we have so many raw materials. We have so many agricultural items. We have so many minerals. As my colleague said before, Tamil Nadu having lot of intelligence, lot of concentration. Especially Tamil Nadu engineers are very much intelligent, very much work-oriented. So these people put attention on these raw materials. Definitely, the both will grow. Our farmers will grow, you entrepreneurs will grow. So the government also providing good infrastructure, plug and play for that constructions, everything, it is available now. So you please, the propaganda in all your associations and ask them, come Visakhapatnam and learn more things about Andhra Pradesh and its facilities and invest in Andhra Pradesh. And the next phase, I came also from the textile as background. In 2004, I established 16,000 spindles capacity spinning mill at West Godavari, Tanuku. After 2 years, I got incentives around 2 crores from the late Sri Rajashekhar Reddy Gari on that government. So every year we are getting very good support from the government. We are again reinvesting the project. Till the 5 years, I am increasing one by one. I went up to 1,35,000 spindles with the government good support and with good marketing, everything. So what is the support? When I need electrical power, state government, they established uninterrupted the power. They are giving 2 rupees incentives per unit. So these 2 factors, we are competing very much in this category. So we won in this business. So my friends, as I said before, the Textile Commissioner said, cotton is main material for Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. There is a good, that cooperation is there. Because Andhra Pradesh, the cotton, everything going to Salem, Erodu, Coimbatore. They are making fabric, and again they are making Tirupur, and they are making fabric and dyeing. They export from that either the Chennai or in the Tuticorin port. So lot of the traveling, the lot of expenditure. If you put factory in Visakhapatnam area, Guntur area, any weaving or any ready-made garment, you will get raw material there. all type of cotton. Andhra Pradesh is having a very thin cotton, thick cotton, the corded cotton, combed cotton, all varieties are available. The stitched cotton is available. And now so many, the blends also are available. So you can save minimum 10 to 15 rupees the cost per kg. Nowadays, 10 rupees, 20 rupees is the big money in the textile. So you please introduce all your Tirupur mills and that Coimbatore, the Textile Mills Association, everybody invite to Visakhapatnam and check the environmentals, check the land, check that those facilities and invest industry there. It will be very grand success for Tamilians, because the Tamil Nadu is the main, the fabric, the people to compare to Andhra. All the players, the fabric, the players are here. So if you people coming to Andhra Pradesh, definitely you will get more profit, more benefit. So welcome all to Visakhapatnam, and you can enjoy Andhra Pradesh state government, the facilities. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. That has been very practical and to the point. While we said there are 13 focus sectors, and due to the paucity of time, we thought we would show you all those 13 focus sectors in one single video so that you get the complete understanding of what the state of Andhra Pradesh is and what it has got to offer for you. Can we play the AV Advantage Andhra Pradesh, please?
India's gateway to Southeast Asia. 974-kilometer long coastline. Robust industrial infrastructure. 3 industrial corridors, 6 ports, 6 airports, diverse industrial base, industry-ready skilled workforce, plug-and-play facilities for industries. #1 in ease of doing business based on 100% perception survey for the last 2 editions. Advantage Andhra Pradesh, where abundance meets prosperity. A new era has begun in Andhra Pradesh, an era of innumerable opportunities and immense possibilities. Dedicated efforts of the visionary Chief Minister, Honorable Shri Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy, has carved a new identity for the state by measuring up to all parameters of development, trade and investment.
The performance stands testimony to our belief that right infrastructure and enabling policies, these two are very, very important.
Andhra Pradesh is powering its development through the available land, water, forest and mineral resources. The state is a logistics marvel on the eastern coast with a coastline of 974 kilometers, which is the second longest in India, thus making it a gateway to Southeast Asia. The state has retained its top position in the ease of doing business for the last few years. Quality power and water availability, a conducive business environment, low cost of doing business, vendor base and supply chain linkages, and proximity to R&D hubs and markets give Andhra Pradesh a 360-degree advantage in every sector. Powering the story of growth through the focus sectors, the state registered the highest GSDP growth rate of 11.43% during the 2021-2022 fiscal year, higher than the country's GDP growth rate. The government of Andhra Pradesh is transforming the state into a model state with a strong reform agenda. The government has identified 13 focus sectors for attracting sector-specific investment opportunities, abounding with advantages. These are core sectors the state government is focusing on. Andhra Pradesh is at the forefront of developing industrial infrastructure. The state has an abundant land bank of approximately 46,000 acres of industrial development, with industrial zoning as the key focus area to provide a risk-free, investment-friendly environment. A big credit for immense success in every field goes to plug-and-play model and industrial hubs. This includes YSR Jagan Mega Industrial Hub, YSR Electronic Manufacturing Cluster, Industrial Corridors, PCPIR and Beach IT model. With 6 airports, the state has the largest number of operational airports. Air freight traffic is increasing impressively year after year. State-of-the-art cargo handling facilities are available at major airports. Taking benefit of the strategic state to have 3 industrial corridors for accelerated development across the state. Visakhapatnam Chennai Industrial Corridor, Chennai Bengaluru Industrial Corridor, Hyderabad Bengaluru Industrial Corridor. Steadily working towards its mission of decarbonized economy, the state houses 4 solar parks of the Government of India. It is also home to the world's largest integrated renewable energy storage project. Implementing the future of mobility, vehicles to grid philosophy, 80,000 acres of land has been identified for solar, wind and solar wind hybrid projects.
What we see today would stand out for the future of this country. In fact, what Andhra Pradesh today is showcasing will be the triggering point for this entire country to follow in the days to come, when the usage of fossil fuels would take a backseat and renewable energy would take a front row seat.
Due to the state government's visionary approach, the state is geared up to meet the demand for electric vehicles in the world. India is one of the few countries in the world that supports the global EV 30 at 30 campaign, and the state will play an important role in India's successful contribution. The state exports auto components and electronics to more than 30 countries. Automobile clusters, 21 auto nagars, proximity to consumption centers and focus on EV public transportation have made Andhra Pradesh the automobile hub of the country. The next phase of development in pharma is focused on collaborations exploring bulk drugs, including medical device technology, biosimilars, gene therapy and specialty drugs. Andhra Pradesh is the only state in South India selected by Government of India to establish a bulk drug park. Andhra Pradesh's excellence in the electronics and IT sector is well known. The state has emerged as one of the fastest growing global manufacturing hotspots. With its strong ESDM ecosystem across the value chain, it accounts for 10% of national electronic production. It has the distinction of being the only state in India with 4 dedicated electronics manufacturing clusters. More than 3.5 million mobile phones are manufactured here every month. 60% of the state's population is associated with agriculture and agribusiness. The state ranks first in terms of the total value of trade on the national agricultural market. It is the largest producer of shrimps in India. Andhra Pradesh is one of the 4 states in the country to have a 640 square kilometer petroleum, chemicals and petrochemicals investment region, PCPIR, recognized by the Government of India. The state is committed to becoming the chosen investment destination in India in aerospace and defense manufacturing. Andhra Pradesh is working on creating a transformational and affordable model for healthcare in the state. Andhra Pradesh MedTech Zone has the distinction of being India's first manufacturing hub for medical devices. The MSME sector manufactures a variety of products in sectors such as agri and food processing, automotives, textiles, construction materials and others. To encourage the sector, the state is giving preferential market access to MSMEs in all government procurement. The state is committed to quality education and skill development as a focus sector, with multiple initiatives in place. The state is focusing on creating a world-class industry-ready workforce. Andhra Pradesh is committed to promoting green textile to achieve sustainable long-term goals in the textile sector. The exquisite handloom and crafts industry of the state has its own special identity. Due to the dedicated efforts of the state government, the works of the weavers and craftsmen here have become popular all over the world. Andhra Pradesh is one of the preferred tourism destinations in India. The state government provides multiple opportunities for developing tourism projects and related services to cater to the state's vast potential and avenues. The growth story of Andhra Pradesh speaks volumes about the dedicated efforts and commitment of the Honorable Chief Minister to take the state to new heights.
Like-minded companies from all over the globe to come over to set up their shop in India, and especially in Andhra Pradesh.
Come, join us on this exciting journey of technological innovations, profitable business and sustainable development. Advantage Andhra Pradesh, where abundance meets prosperity.
Well, that brings us to the most important leg of today's event here at Chennai. To sum up all of this and to share the perspective from the authority, let us all join together and welcome the Honorable Minister for Finance and Planning, Commercial Taxes, Legislative Affairs, Skill Development and Training, Government of Andhra Pradesh, Shri Buggana Rajendranath Garu, to give his keynote address. Welcome, sir.
Shri Saurav Gaur Garu, Secretary IT and Skill. Srimati Sunita Garu, Principal Secretary Handlooms and Textiles. Srimati Shijana Garu, Director of Industries. Shri Sundar Garu, Special Secretary IT and Electronics. Shri Ravindranath Reddy Garu, Maritime Board. Shri Ravindranath Garu, Chairman AP MSME. Shri Ravindra Sannareddy Garu, Founder and MD of Sri City. And importantly, Shri Swaminathan Aishanawar Garu, industry leaders from Tamil Nadu, media friends, అందరికి కూడా నా హృదయపూర్వక నమస్కారం, వనక్కం. There's nothing like hearing an entrepreneur speak on stage. This we witnessed in a roadshow in Bangalore. The MD of APIS Industrial Infrastructure Corporation, Mr. Govind Reddy, the other day in Bangalore, he gave his experience of how he started his career in a small garment manufacturing unit, earning about 50 rupees a month, to right now where he employs about 5,000 people, a former MLA, a former MLC, and presently the MD of APISC. Similarly, now in today's meeting, we just heard Shri Ravi Sannareddy. His experience, how he started, he gave us a very articulate description of the area that surrounds Chennai, the geography, the history, the background. In fact, Chennai always becomes very nostalgic. I was coming from the airport to the venue. Then I passed by Anna University and Alagappa College of Technology. My grandfather did his BSc honors in mathematics from Anna University. My father himself did his engineering from Alagappa College of Technology. My mother studied here in SIT, and prior to that, Sharda Vidyalaya. I myself did my PUC from Madras Christian College, Higher Secondary School, Harrington Road, Chetpat. So the reason I'm telling you this is, the 20-30 years that we keep coming to Chennai, especially people from the present Andhra Pradesh, that is Srikakulam onwards. Hyderabad was part of Nizam state, and their connect to Chennai was not as much as the present Andhra Pradesh's connect to Chennai. For the longest of time, until I think Andhra University was established in Vizag, anybody who had to pursue higher education in the present state of Andhra Pradesh had to come to Chennai. We all were connected by rail. Rayalaseema, our area was connected by the Bombay-Chennai track, and the coastal area all along the track was connected by the Calcutta-Chennai track. So this had education, business, entrepreneurs, film field for the longest of time. In fact, my grandfather, mother's father was a popular film director and producer then. They had their house, I think, in T Nagar in Murugesh Mudaliar Street at that point of time. So it doesn't really feel that you're in a different place. So just like how Mr. Ravi Sannareddy said, other than the border, the geography, the culture, the customs, everything is almost the same. And when it comes to Tamil Nadu, one of the early industrialized areas in India during the, I think, British reign. And this mostly because of ports as well as the industrious nature of the Tamil speaking people that I would like to acknowledge. So the traditional sectors such as automobile, textiles, chemicals, petrochemicals, engineering, and Tamil Nadu also has a strong maritime infrastructure, renewable energy, social infrastructure, and now modern IT, global capability centers, data centers, emerging technologies, defense, electric vehicles. All this is now an integral part of Tamil Nadu that has made this into one of the most industrious and the forward looking states in India. But then, historically, if we look at business, commerce, industry, man always was adventurous and looking at opportunities. So that is the reason that the Europeans started colonizing, and then the Europeans went again to the west towards America looking for opportunities. And then certain areas, mostly by virtue of the natural advantages that are there. Now, Europeans always wanted to come and discover India. By mistake, they discovered America. But then, what part of America actually became industrious? It is only a part that has a natural advantage in it. So it is not that people went looking to do business or commerce in some place like Sahara Desert. It is only in a place where naturally there is an advantage. Places like Calcutta, Chennai, Mumbai, a century ago, and then subsequently newer cities, even if they had older histories, Hyderabad, Bangalore, in specific areas mostly. These all developed into areas of commerce, industry. But then, if you look at a curve, it always is that the local advantages that are there, they go up the sine curve and plateau at some point of time. The reason for the plateau happening is not that the market has lessened, or not that the raw material has lessened, or not that any other factor actually has influence to that extent. It is mostly that the places become so big, commuting, and then certain communications and requirements for somebody to do industry, all this become a little difficult after a certain point of time. Now you look at Bangalore, the way Bangalore has grown in the last 2 decades, mainly because of the IT and the newer biotechnology, etc. But then you want to commute in Bangalore, it takes hours and hours to go from any point to point. Similarly in Chennai, when I was doing my schooling, we used to have this lovely small street corner restaurant by name Nagas, Nungambakam High Road, that corner where we go to Loyola College. So it was like Nungam from Anna flyover to Harrington Road, a lot of times we used to walk. Now, the amount of time it takes to commute from Anna flyover to anywhere is just humongous. So these are all the disadvantages of a place that has grown beyond a certain point. So then comes, what does somebody in manufacturing or industry want? It is quite natural that they would want a place that has all the facilities to do business, to do industry. And some of them are raw material, market, logistics, power, water, and also a safe and secure and sound and stable political environment and atmosphere. There are various other factors that normally come, the newer ones like, the supply chain, the IT part of the contribution to the industry, etc. But again, fundamentally, it is again these things that come to manufacturing industry. And now recently, the workforce in the higher and higher technology businesses that are there. So now, where is Chennai located? And where is the Andhra border located? What is the geography? What is the culture? What is the connect? It is almost like outskirts of Chennai is Andhra Pradesh, just like outskirts of Bangalore is Andhra Pradesh. Here in Andhra Pradesh, we have a huge land bank. our secretaries explained to you in detail, the only state with 3 industrial corridors, the Vizag-Chennai, the Bangalore-Chennai, and the Hyderabad-Bangalore. We have close to about 50,000 acres of land in the form of industrial estates where world-class infrastructure is available and is being made available. So these are all mostly in sync with NICDIT. Therefore, there is a certain specification and quality about all the infrastructure that is there. 50,000 acres is not a joke, and 50,000 acres in the form of a hinterland that is very well connected to ports. Now, if you look at the advertisement that just was there before, Advantage Andhra Pradesh, where this is India's gateway to Southeast Asia. So now in Tamil Nadu, we have ports too. We have the big Madras port, Chennai port, we have Ennur port, we have Thoothukudi port, etc. But again, as I said, beyond the point, the logistics to the hinterland, the dredging that is there, the traffic that is there, the amount of cargo that is being handled, there always comes a point in the sine curve where it plateaus. Now there, just a few kilometers away, not thousands of kilometers, just a few kilometers away, you have a whole big set of ports again all along the Andhra coast, which was just explained to you in detail, starting with Krishnapatnam all the way up to Visakhapatnam. And new ports also being developed right now. So these are all the advantages that any manufacturing industry would want. And when it comes to the IT part, the service part, etc., our Honorable Chief Minister recently has announced, and he has also invited everybody to come to Vizag, the next destination. On the East Coast, after Calcutta and Chennai, the big city, Vizag. Vizag being a city that again is at an automatic advantage, the reason being the cosmopolitan nature that is inherent with Vizag. We have the RINL, the Rashtriya Ispat Nigam, this Vizag Steels. Then we have the Eastern Naval Command headquartered there. Then we have the Hindustan Shipyard. Then we have the petrochemical complex. And we have various other industries that are there for quite some time, for decades, that has made Vizag itself truly cosmopolitan in nature. There are few cities in the world and in the country where an outsider goes and doesn't feel that you're new to the place. Just like how you don't feel new in Delhi, you don't feel new in Bangalore, you don't feel new in Vizag too. Because Vizag itself is a city that is inhabited not by the original Vizagites, but people from all over the state and all over the country. So there's a huge potential for the IT industry, for the various new generation service industries, where the youngsters of today would want a good social life, would want good social infrastructure. So Vizag is a very beautiful destination for anybody who want to do business of that nature. So here you have the manufacturing industry, you have the ports, and you have the newer generation businesses. And when you look at the recent record of Andhra Pradesh, ease of doing business, Andhra Pradesh has stood for 3 consecutive years first. That is testimony to what exactly is being provided by the government to industry. Then the large infrastructure projects that are there, which are helped by the industrial corridors that are available. Andhra Pradesh is growing amongst the fastest growing states, shown by the GSDP growth of 11.4%, which stands as first in the country. A new world-class airport in the form of Bhogapuram that is being constructed now in Vizag with an investment of close to about 2,500 crores in the first phase. And then 6 operational airports. You have Vizag, you have Rajahmundry, you have Vijayawada, you have Kadapa, you have Tirupati, you have Kurnool. And the ports that are there, Ramayapatnam, Machilipatnam, Bhavanapadu, Kakinada, and the new ones that are under construction. Then the 5 multimodal logistic parks that we have, Anantapur is one, Visakhapatnam is one, Koparthi is one, Kakinada is one, and Vijayawada is one. So these multimodal logistic parks between the hinterland and the ports, these are going to be excellent areas of service to the manufacturing industry and the exit to the ASEAN countries especially. And inland waterways is one area where Andhra Pradesh state under the vision of our Honorable Chief Minister is concentrating. We have 888 kilometers of national waterway and we have identified 27 locations which will be prioritized terminals and should be able to handle cargo to the tune of about 10 million tons by 2029. The first bulk drug park in South India with an investment of about 1,000 crores. And then large industrial parks with electronics, textiles, pharmaceuticals. When it comes to certain sectors that are there, certain sectors that have been shown right now are only a few of the focused sectors. There are various opportunities in abundance, but certain ones that are prioritized and focused upon. Aerospace and defense is one, where we have Bharat Electronics already functioning and many other big, huge companies. And the base for the aerospace and defense actually is the Sriharikota Satish Dhawan Center that we have. Then agri and food processing, which again was just now explained. I would like to repeat once again, Andhra ranks first in production of oil palm, papaya, lime, coconut, cocoa, tomatoes and chili for the fiscal year 2021-22. And then marine exports, Andhra Pradesh stands first. Fish, shrimp, Andhra Pradesh stands first. Second in paddy, maize, mango, sweet orange, cashew, turmeric. Fourth in milk and meat. And then I think first in poultry. Exports for agri-food processing registered a growth of about 5.95% amongst the biggest in the country last year. And food parks in Krishna, Guntur, Nellore and Chittur. In view of this environment that is there, we have multinational companies like Kellogg, PepsiCo, Mondelez, etc. already functioning. And then automobiles and electric vehicles is one other sector that has been identified and prioritized. We have Kia and a host of, you look at the area around Kia, it's almost like a small Korea out there. And then we have Kia, we have Isuzu, then we have Bharat Forge, Brakes India, Apollo, Ashok Leyland. Similarly, electronics and IT, which was explained in detail by our secretary. We have manufacturing capacity right now being done to the tune of about 1 cell phone every second. We have Foxconn, TCL, Wingtech, Dixon, and then we also have air conditioning giants like Daikin, etc. working over there. Healthcare and medical equipment, we've been amongst the pioneers over there. The MedTech zone in Vizag, which is amongst the best and the pioneer in the country. We have various hospitals, and as you know, the home of the first corporate hospital structure, Apollo. Then we have industrial logistics infrastructure, which again has been a focus sector, petroleum, petrochemicals, and then we have pharmaceutical and life sciences, where almost all the big giants in this country are located right now in Andhra. Mylan Pharmaceuticals, Biocon, Lupin, Hetero, Laurus, Divi's, Aurobindo, GSK, Dr. Reddy's. You name the big company, it is already established and doing extremely well because of the ecosystem and the environment that is present. Renewable energy again, amongst the biggest in the country. We already have about 9 gigawatts of renewable power and a scope for 38 gigawatts in solar and 44 gigawatts in wind. And we have amongst the biggest pump storage project, not in the country but in the world, in my native district of Kurnool. This is being done by Greenco. And textiles and apparels again was one sector which traditionally has been very strong, because not only the cotton, silk, etc., it's also the handlooms as well as the newer generation textiles, which again was explained in detail by our secretary. Tourism and hospitality, abundant scope for tourism and hospitality. And the state of Andhra Pradesh, 8th largest in the country with a 70% population of working age. 70% of the population of working age, and where skilling is being done in a very focused way to suit and meet the requirement of the industry. We have about 176 skill hubs, one for every constituency that has been established. And this skill hub is basically going to make the labor just about perfect for manufacturing industry. And we have a cascading system where right on top of the skill hub in a pyramid, the bottom is the skill hub with 176 institutes. On top of that is the skill college, where we have specific skilling of a higher order, again done to meet the requirement of the industry. For example, in Visakhapatnam, we have a center of excellence in marine and shipping, because shipbuilding and ship maintenance is one of the niche areas that Andhra Pradesh can proudly boast of. And then in Anakapalli, we have close to Vizag, we have a center of excellence in MSME and industrial automation. And then in Nellore, we have an Indian Institute of Tourism and Travel. This again is a center of excellence. In Kurnool, we have a health understanding with Apollo MedSkills. Tirupati and Sri City, we have electronic sector center of excellence with the support and participation of the founder Sri Ravisanna Reddy. Anantapur, again, we have solar technologies. So every prioritized focused area, we have established a center of excellence. That center of excellence being established in that particular area to meet the requirement of that particular industry. For example, Anantapur, where we have a automobile, and Sri City, where we have a automobile ecosystem, the center of excellence there is to skill people who are just about perfect. And as explained before, one good nature of the Telugu diaspora, whenever and wherever they have settled abroad, they've always mixed and mingled with the rest of the local public, just like sugar and milk. And same is the way that they have accepted and invited people from other areas to come to Andhra Pradesh. With particular reference to Tamil Nadu, I don't think there is any invitation required, because this almost was one at some point of time, and it always has been geographically, culturally and custom-wise one area. Therefore, there's nothing new for anybody, any industrialist from here to come and feel right across the border, which is a few kilometers away. Once again, all the people who have attended this meet today, I thank everybody and invite you all to the summit, Global Investor Summit on 3rd and 4th of March in Vizag, a wonderful city. There, companies can learn about Andhra Pradesh, the advantages, and witness the progress being made, engage with us and discuss and potential opportunities. And on behalf of the Honorable Chief Minister of our state, I invite everybody and look forward to hosting you all, and also look forward to a beautiful partnership with all the industrialists, all the businessmen, everybody who have from Tamil Nadu and who are part of Tamil Nadu and who all are looking for good opportunities. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you very much, sir. We would also like to recognize and welcome the friends from media and press. The house is now open for interaction and questions. We have ushers towards the both ends of the hall with the mics. If in case you have certain questions to ask, please raise your hand and we will direct them to you. Yeah, please.
I am Ilanagai, President of Chemical Industry Association. The chemical industry sector growth, we thought that it would be very good in Andhra because of HPC refinery, and GAIL announced a cracker, Haldia Petro announced a cracker. Nothing happened. There are 8 crackers in India, no cracker in South India. Tamil Nadu is also trying. I thought Andhra would get a cracker in Kakinada.
नमस्ते योगी जी, प्रणाम। और